What is going on YouTube? I am Lamont at large. Today I am in Keene, New Hampshire, telling you to beware of David McCleod. I'm walking on High Street right now, looking for 88 High Street. It is that building across the street, directly in the center of your screen. On January 14th, 1989, at around 2:30 a.m., someone woke up in this apartment to the smell of smoke and flames. Immediately, they called 911. When firefighters got out to the scene, there was a bunch of people outside of the apartment. It was already looking like it was engulfed in flames. There was smoke shooting out of the roof. Firefighters came in, hooked up their hoses, and put out the flames. They had tried to get a running count of who was outside. Now, this looks like a house, but it's actually one of those houses that were turned into apartments. And in this apartment lived the Hina family. It was Carl Hina, 49, his wife Lori Hina, 26, Sarah Hina, 12. That was Carl's daughter from a previous relationship, and the couple's 4-month-old baby Lillian Hina. By the time the smoke cleared, firefighters had went into the apartment to see if there was anybody inside, and they didn't see anybody at first. Later on, they went back in to do another check, and that is when they discovered the Hina family in the back room of their apartment, all dead. They were taken to the medical examiner's office, and it was determined that they died from smoke inhalation. That is a very painful death. That is a very slow death. 88 High Street here in Keene, New Hampshire was very well known to the police. It was considered a party house or a nuisance house, whatever you want to call it. The residents of the neighborhood called it the Christmas tree house because it was painted red and green. Now, these calls that the police would get from time to time about rowdy parties and disturbances were not the cause of the Hina family, but you had some, I would call ruffians, some roughnecks, people that drank too much, partied way too hard, and did drugs even harder, living in that building right behind me. So when the call came in about a fire, it was of no surprise at all to the Keene police of what address they were going to. Now it's time for the fire investigators to determine how the fire was started. Now, one of the residents by the name of Sandra Walker was at a party being had downstairs on that night. She had gone to her friend's house down the block over here, had came back. She says she drank and went to sleep and woke up in her apartment to flames shooting up around her bed. Now, Sandra was a smoker, and she said that she routinely did not smoke in her bedroom. However, she said that she drank so much that it was possible that she could have smoked in bed. She wasn't sure. Now, according to fire investigators who routinely investigate house fires that are caused by cigarettes being, left as somebody sleeps, it usually takes anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour for a lit cigarette dropped on a bed or dropped on a couch to ignite. And according to the burn patterns of the fire, investigators believed that it was not caused by any kind of a lit cigarette, but it was actually caused by an open flame. And Sandra did not believe that she lit any kind of a candle. However, there was a person of interest that the police did talk to, and that man, of course, was David McCleod. Now, David McCleod was at a party being had here that night, and he had a bone to pick with several of the residents in this building. Number one, his ex-girlfriend lived here at the time, and number two, his ex-girlfriend was dating a couple of the guys that were in this building. So it is possible that David McCleod felt slighted that his ex-girlfriend is in this building making out, or whatever words you want to use, what other guys. Now, one of the witnesses during this party that night said that they heard David McCleod say, quote, "I'm going to so-and-so's house, get some coke, and torch this place." And everybody did concur and say that David McCleod was inebriated. He was very, very drunk. I'm pretty much sure everybody at that party was very, very drunk. And after the fire department came and put out the flames, somebody else in the neighborhood said that they heard David McCleod tell them, and I quote, "I did a good job, didn't I?" unquote. Now, you got a guy, a drunkard, who is promising to torch the place, who might have torched the place, had a bone to pick with the people who lived there, and was drunk and wanted revenge. Now, the police did want to talk to him, and they did consider him a person of interest. The only problem is they didn't make their move in terms of arresting him simply for the fact that they did not have enough evidence. I mean, you have that girl, Sandra Walker, saying that I could have lit the fire, but then she later recants her statements and says, well, maybe I was smoking in the couch in the living room. I don't remember. But all we know now is that we have a family of 4 and they are dead. And they are dead because somebody started this fire. So where do the police go from here? They have a pretty good prime suspect in David McCleod. They do have witnesses corroborating statements that were made by him. Quote, "I'm going to torch the place." And also other eyewitnesses claiming that they overheard him say, quote, "I did a good job, didn't I?" unquote. However, I believe the police felt that that was not enough evidence to indict him and charge him with the first-degree murders. Now, normally when people move away from where they're from or where they grew up, more times than not, most people don't ever move more than 75 miles from where they grew up. However, after the fire, David McCleod moved to Arizona. It's about 2,800 miles away from here or so. Started a new job, started a new family, kids. He told his friends back home in New Hampshire, I just can't find a job out there, so I'm just going to go to Arizona. Maybe he had a friend out there, who knows. So you fast forward to 20 years later, and the cold case unit is looking at this case again. And you know what? Maybe someone felt that they had enough evidence that they can get some kind of a conviction. So they charge David McCleod with 4 counts of first-degree murder. They extradite him from Sacramento, California, back to Keene, New Hampshire to stand trial. And for 3.5 years, he sits in the county jail proclaiming his innocence. He goes to trial. The prosecutor lays out their case. The defense pokes holes in their case. And in 2013, 3.5 years after he sat in jail, David McCleod was found not guilty of the arson murders of the Hina family. Prosecutors, at first, I believe they were going to retry him, but they decided not to because they felt that if they were to retry him on the murders, there would be another mistrial, and the jurors cannot all come together to convict him. So this is the grave here of Lori Hina with her baby daughter Lillian, and right here is 12-year-old Sarah and her father Carl Hina Jr. I don't know why they're not all together with one stone, but I wonder. Anyways, So is this murder considered solved or unsolved? I have no idea. Public opinion would believe that we all know who is responsible for this family's murder, but I guess the 12-member jury thought otherwise. Rest in peace to the Hina family. I hope to one day hear in the news that they get some form of justice and the man responsible for their murder is brought to justice. Anyways, wherever you are, whether it be in New Hampshire, whether it be in Arizona, Montana, California, wherever you are, always beware of your surroundings. Always beware of who you're involved with. And just want to let you know, beware of David McCleod. I'm Lamont at Large. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.